before the game, and it was just tremendous to walk on it. It pretty much it's like a normal night out there.
It's going to hold up really well. And again, a big advantage for Solon, I believe, is this playing surface that they've come to be accustomed to.
And we are ready. And week 10 is upon us here at Stewart Field. The ball is caught by Pack, and he's going to be tackled, and with forward progress should be short of the 19-yard line, and that'll get the fans excited. So a pretty good kick by Wasserman, as we have seen all season.
Purposely kicking the ball away from Jordan Mabin. They went right for the corner and got what they want. They had an up back that fielded the ball instead of number 27, and then they were able to stop him, so you don't draw it up any better than that.
And Mabin and company will be ready for their first drive. The ball spotted at the 19-yard line. It will be first down and 10 for the Knights. They are led to the field by their senior quarterback, number 6, Jeff Pankratz, 6'2", 190 pounds. And they show a couple of receivers, 3 receivers. Back to passes, Pankratz throwing. He's got a man open, and it'll be good for first down yardage to their go-to guy at receiver, number 88, Mark Douglas, on a pretty good pass.
Nordonia is going to have to be creative on both sides of the football. I think both coaching staffs, when they look at film, and here in week 10 of the football season, there are no more secrets. I think it's obvious to both coaching staffs that Solon is the superior physical football team.
The gain on the play was 13 yards, and they'll have it first down and 10 from the 32. The pitch going to Mabin, and we get to see his first action tonight. And a pretty good-looking run there on the pitch to Mabin.
Knights were able to seal the corner, got a good block on the defensive end on that side, also cracked down on the cornerback. Mabin had a bit of a crease, picked up 6 yards.
So a solid run for Mabin. Be interesting to see the difference between Mabin and our star running back, Brandon Schmitz, in running style. We'll take note of that as the night goes on. Again, 3 receivers. The lone back is Mabin. Pankratz back to pass, throwing, finds Douglas again, breaking tackles, and a good gain up near midfield for another Knight first down.
Nothing fancy about that. They're just flanking 3 receivers out to one side of the field, and watch number 88. He just sits right down in a little hitch route. They run the other 2 guys off, hoping that they get the safeties to go deep, and a missed tackle allows Douglas to pick up the first down.
And at this point, there's been some good protection from the offensive line. The ball spotted at the Knight 48-yard line, first and 10. Pitch going left again to Mabin. Fighting to the outside, and he's got a pretty decent gain into Comet territory.
It's easy to see how Nordonia is thinking about this football game. They are not running between the tackles. They have pitched the ball twice now to Mabin. They've thrown the hitch route twice. So I think they know that there are only certain things that they're going to be able to do against this very tough Solon Comet defense.
Perhaps trying to avoid some of the talent they have in the middle of the field with guys like Novak, Hathaway, Wisner. Pankratz is back to pass, looking for Douglas, throwing, and he's got his man, and it's actually going to be ruled incomplete. Looked like he had it momentarily. Justin Belza, the sophomore, on coverage.
I think Belza knocks this ball out. Okay, they've run the hitch, and this time they just run Douglas on an out and up. Little fade route, and Pankratz throws a strike. He's got a good arm. But Belza was able to separate him from the football by pulling the back arm of Douglas away from the ball.
So now we have our first third down attempt for Nordonia, 3rd and 6, with 10 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in this opening quarter of play. And we have a timeout going to be called by Nordonia. And that is called with 10:05. So Chuck, at this point, the Knights have shown that they can mix it up. They've got Pankratz, they've got Jordan Mabin, and we will see what they can do as the night goes on.
They're trying to spread out Solon. They want to see, when you throw formations like a 3-receiver set out there early in a ball game, what you're looking at is how does the defense react? Do they walk a linebacker out? And if they don't, then go ahead and run the hitch route, which is what they've done. Solon is not going to walk those guys out there. They may, as this game goes on, if it proves that they can not stop that hitch route, or if they're having trouble with the pitch sweep that they've shown so far to Mabin, they will make adjustments. But right now, it's a bit of a cat and mouse game, chess game, if you will. And early on, both coaching staffs kind of feeling each other out.
If you're Coach Keith Bodeker for Nordonia, what are you looking to do here on 3rd down and 6?
I think you got to throw the ball again. If they don't walk a linebacker out to cover that hitch, you keep running it.
So we will see what they do. 3rd down and 6. Important possession for both teams. Pankratz back to pass again, throwing for Douglas. And it looks like he's got him complete, but he will be short of a 1st down.
This is a tough call here for Nordonia. They're going to be short the length of the football. Again, here's the same hitch route. They've got a little bit of a bubble out here. The corners off the outside guy. The safety is deep, and here the ball's thrown a little bit underneath, and you can see Douglas has to come back to it a little. Probably a wise choice by Nordonia to punt the ball, but I fully expect them to take a lot of chances this evening because they've got nothing to lose in this ball game.
So Bodeker elects to punt it, and the punter will be number 2, Tim Cohn. He is a senior. As we await the punt here at Stewart Field. Get the sense trying to draw the Comets offside. It is away. And it's fielded by Valentino. Valentino makes one move to the 20, across the 20 and out of bounds past the 25. So pretty good return by Valentino. And the fans here are pleased at Stewart Field.
Wise choice catching that football by Steve Valentino, and he had some running room. Comets put a little bit of pressure on the punter. And Valentino just makes the safe play, has some room out to the right, and gets the offense some good field position for Brandon Shimitz and company.
And the Comets have it at the 27-yard line for Shimitz and the senior quarterback Colin Busey, number 6. As they will show their pretty typical I formation. And Shimitz is going to get it quickly, and he's got some room to the outside. Busts it to the 40, across the 50, and a big run for Brandon Shimitz, untouched until he got out of bounds into night territory. 1st down, Comets.
Well, he shows why he's so valuable. You just got to put hats on people for him, just for an instant, and he's going to do the rest. That hole's supposed to go inside, but Brandon sees the field extremely well. He has a receiver out here blocking on a cornerback, and look at the wheels. If the Comets score early in this ball game, it could seriously deflate Nordonia.
Another thing we will keep tabs on is Shimitz is now, after that, less than 70 yards away from the single-season record. An inside handoff to Tegay, and he fights his way for a pretty solid gain. It looked like there was a lot out there, but he kept the legs moving.
Again, the Solon Comet offensive line is the superior physical line here. And where football games are run, this is not rocket science. Where football games are won is up front, between the tackles. And that's what Solon wants to do. They want to pound Nordonia this evening.
And they will pound Shimitz a lot of the time, but when you've got a good fullback like Tegay, you can really balance it out well. Busey's looking to throw for the first time, throwing right, and a bit of miscommunication, I believe, with his senior wideout, Dave Vervita, and that'll be incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
And as soon as I say they want to pound the football, they put it up. I think the Comets want to show versatility. They do want to be able to pass the football for the playoffs. As we've said in weeks past, it's real easy to hand the ball to Brandon Shimitz 35 times a game, but that's not something that's going to help them in the long run.
And if they are going to be successful passing the ball, accuracy is going to be very important. Ravita's in motion from right to left. Tegay and Shimitz in the backfield. A handoff going to the big guy Shimitz. He's got a 1st down. The ball is loose and bouncing around. It looks like the Comets got it back, but let's wait for a signal.
Well, Dave Snyder had a good chance at it. Dave Ravita had a chance at it. And then I think some linemen got down there and got it.
So the Comets recover the fumble by Shimitz, and actually works to their advantage for a couple of extra yards.
Considering that Brandon Shimitz carries the ball as much as he has not put the ball on the ground much at all this year. I can recall in the Menor game at Menor, he put one on the ground that was a turnover, but he is very sure-handed, and he takes good care of that thing. It's a rare fumble that Brandon Shimitz makes.
And better that Shimitz gets it out of his way now than later. Nevertheless, that helps them get more than a few yards, a good amount, over 15. So it's 1st and 10 from the 16. The give to Shimitz going right, powers his way for a couple. Good pursuit on the part of the Knights.
Tackle by Kowalski.
Nordonia has to load the line of scrimmage. They've got to put 8 in the box, and I think similar to what Nordonia wants to do to the Solon defense, Solon would like to do vice versa. They would like to spread them out, see what kind of look they get to realize what kind of pass patterns they can use.
And Kevin Kowalski, he made the tackle. He is a sophomore lineman. The give to Shimitz, pounding to the right side, and he is going to be inside the 10 on that run.
Just a simple pitch sweep, which Brandon is so dangerous on. He is so dangerous out in space, one-on-one, when he's got a little bit of operating room because of his ability to shake and bake. And that pitch sweep is a very simple play that can be run against any front.
And now the Comets will have a 3rd down and 1 from the 7-yard line with 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Coming in motion from right to left is Schneider. Busey gives to Shimitz, and Shimitz will have a 1st down and keeps fighting inside the 5-yard line. So keep on moving the chains. The Comets are going to have 1st down and goal. Good power running by Shimitz.
I wouldn't be surprised if they jump into power I here, get one of the receivers out of there, and go power I and just even cut down their splits, go foot to foot, and just try to pound Nordonia here.
The ball will be spotted at the 5-yard line. Our statisticians tell us that Shimitz is 28 yards away from breaking the record. We will get into that a little bit more later. Busey on a fake is rolling right, throwing. It's a touchdown, Comets. It is Alexi Tegay on the touchdown. The Comets are up 6-0.
It's the counter boot. Interesting call. Everybody's looking at Brandon Shimitz. Look at Alexi. He is wide open, and Colin just makes sure that he hits him right in the numbers, and Alexi does the rest, catching the ball in the breadbasket. So that's a big score for the Comets to get up early.
And Busey connects for his 7th touchdown pass of the year. That is Tegay's 3rd touchdown receiving on the season as well. Wasserman on for the extra point. Snap good, kick is up, and the kick is through the uprights. So with 5 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter, your Comets 7, the Nordonia Knights nothing. And a pretty good pass there, and Chuck, we've seen, especially when we broadcasted the games, the Comets done a great job getting out on top, and I know that we beat this point in the ground, but it's an important one. How important, especially in a game like this, is it to get that early advantage?
Well, one of the things going against Nordonia here tonight is some people tell me Nordonia hasn't beaten Solon in about 25 years. I know they haven't beaten them since the WRC was created in 1996. And Solon in football has won every WRC North Division title since the conference was invented. And Nordonia has had some chances to beat the Comets. A couple years ago now, when the game was here, Nordonia had their Division II state final. Ultimately, they made it to the state finals that year. A tremendous football team, probably their best chance to beat Solon. Solon won. A year ago, I think both coaching staffs would tell you that last year's versions of these two teams, Nordonia may have been the superior football team, and over there at Nordonia Bollian Stadium, the Comets still came out on top. So Nordonia is a bit snake bit when it comes to playing Solon.
And you know they want it in this final WRC North contact. Short kick, and it's going to bounce nicely. And Pack is going to let it go, and the Comets will down it. But we have a penalty marker.
Well, Pack does all that he can to let this ball go out of bounds. You can see what Wasserman is doing. He's trying to pooch kick it to the side of the hash away from Maben, hoping that he'll get the other back to catch the football. And in this case, Pack makes a wise choice, but it almost cost him because the ball almost didn't go out of bounds.
So he gets a little bit lucky there, and it's the first time, at least from what I've seen, that the illegal procedure penalty has happened. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Nordonia. Good field position from their own 35-yard line.
And really, you don't lose that much when that kick goes out of bounds. The opponent's starting at the 35. It's a lot better than Jordan Maben having his hands on the football.
Absolutely. And Maben has his hands on the football now as he pounds his way across the 40 for a solid gain. And the first time that they've ran between the tackles tonight, Chuck?
Just a simple north-south lead play, double team, and then run that fullback through. They ran it to the strength of their formation where they had all their blockers, and they picked up some good yardage here. So Comets need to plug that hole.
Maben carries for 6, second down and 4 from the Knight 41-yard line. Maben gets it again, and Alexi Tagay made the hit, but Maben is going to be close to a first down for the Knights.
Unbalanced formation for Nordonia. I believe it was the same formation on the previous play. They have 2 wideouts to one side of the field, and they leave the tight end on that same side, and then they run that way. Once again, an admission that they are not the better physical football team.
So Maben was short on that play. Tagay, the leader in tacklers, was able to stop him. It's 3rd and 1. Maben gets it. He's got a first down, and he's going to get into Comet territory across the 50. So now it looks like they are trying to the best of their ability to play as physical a style as football as possible. But do you believe that as the night wears on, they physically cannot take this against Solon?
Well, it's a game of adjustments, and seeing this unbalanced formation, Solon maybe will move a body here or there to try to plug that hole. So we can see that Nordonia has to be a bit creative offensively.
It's first down and 10 for Nordonia. Pankratz back to pass. He's got plenty of time, throwing right, and he hits his guy Douglas again for a big gain. A tackle broken and out to the 25-yard line. The 4th catch on the day for Mark Douglas, the big play guy for the Knights.
Well, if you're going to run a hitch route, let him catch the ball, but then wrap him up. You got to hit the receiver, and you got to bring him down. Douglas doesn't do anything spectacular here, but keep his feet. Belza misses. I think he got caught in between. He really had a chance at getting his hand on the football, and then he didn't play the man, and you could see the result.
So a big play in the passing game. Pankratz said good success getting it to Douglas tonight. There's Maben trying to get it outside again. The Comets trying to pursue. Maben has to stop and fights his way for a decent gain, but it's pursued pretty nicely by the Comets, who have a lot of speed on their outside as well.
Once again, the unbalanced set, the extra tight end to that side with 2 wideouts, and then they pitch sweep to it, trying to get more blockers than Solon can handle. I didn't see that Solon made any sort of adjustment there. They didn't move any bodies to cover that unbalanced set, and they may have to soon.
Gain of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 from the 22-yard line. 3 minutes, 30 seconds in the first quarter of play. Beautiful night at Stewart Field. The conditions, as we mentioned, are excellent. Pankratz back to pass. Pump faking, throwing for the end zone for Douglas. He's got it. Touchdown, Knights.
What a nice throw by Pankratz. He put that ball in the only place that his receiver could get it, because this is good coverage by Rothstein. It's an out and up. It's a curl with an out and up, and Pankratz with all kinds of time. Look at where this ball is thrown. Right where it needs to be. 6 points.
The gain was 22 yards on the hookup from Pankratz to Douglas. Number 43, Corey Ramos, handles the kicking duties for the Knights. He is a senior, 5'10", 160. Snap good, kick is up, and the kick is through the uprights. So with 3 minutes and 18 seconds remaining, we are all knotted up at 7.
A boost of confidence for the Nordonia Knights to score that touchdown, answer right back Solon's early score. I can't tell you how much momentum means in high school football, and Nordonia coming in here to Stewart Field where they have not had success. That's a big score.
And you can just tell that Nordonia has came here to play today. A couple of the teams, and granted they're not as talented as Nordonia, but we saw the last couple of games we did, Twinsburg, Stowe, they got down 1 touchdown and then just made a lot of mistakes, and it just kept building on them. So Nordonia is ready to play. They have that mental game. It should be a good one from here on out.
They've still got to figure out ways to stop the difference maker, Brandon Schimmitz. And I can tell you this, looking at the Nordonia side, they have packed that rather large visitor stands this evening. So they're really behind their football team in Nordonia. Keith Bodeker has done a great job with the program. Number 1 in Division II, Region 5, poised for the playoffs again. They do a terrific job of coaching football at Nordonia High School.
And perhaps a rivalry is building. Ramos, a pretty good kick. It's going to be caught by Belza, I believe. Check that. I'm sorry, that's Shimitz, and Shimitz has got a big run going along the left sideline and fights his way into Comets territory. A great run by Brandon Shimitz.
Let's give the blockers up front credit, because watch this. Brandon, it catches that ball on the far right side of the field, but his blockers do a terrific job. There's nobody close to him. I may be well past my prime, Brian, but I think I could have picked up some yards there.
I would tend to agree. It's almost too easy when you got the blockers doing stuff like that. And Shimitz's speed and this outstanding blocking gives the Comets excellent field position at the night 45. Momentum back in Solon's favor, at least at this point. And Shimitz gets it one more time, powers his way close to the 40-yard line. About 5 on the play for the Comets. Tailback, Brandon Shimitz.
Nordonia had a 6-2 look there defensively. They had 6 up front, 2 linebackers. I think they realized full well that this game will swing on their ability to stop number 28.
And they will try to do it from the 40-yard line, 2nd down and 5. Colin Busey managing the game very well at this point. Shimitz wanted to go inside now, fighting it outside. He's got a 1st down, still powering his way, continuing to fight across the 30-yard line. And that time, as we've seen so much from Brandon, Chuck, he busts it inside, but is able to get around outside.
There is nothing here. Look, he's trying to cut it inside, and he just bounces, and then he sees just a little bit of a crease. And watch him bowl this guy over in the backfield. I think 5'8", 155, he doesn't have any strength or power. You're wrong.
That would be incorrect, absolutely. And in all the interviews that we've done with Coach McQuay that I've done for something I do with ClevelandBrowns.com, that's all they talk about with him. And never mind, let's get back to the game. Joe Boylan on a little fullback carry, and he's going to get a 1st down across the 20, close to the 15. So Boylan in that fullback set there.
Well, this is the trap play designed to go inside, but there's nothing there, so Boylan just uses his speed and bounces it out. 3 terrific running backs with outstanding speed in Shimitz, Tegay, and Boylan are very difficult to stop, and a very good offensive line that can block many different fronts. They've had enough experience this year in seeing a lot of different fronts. 8 men in the box, safeties walked up, 4-4 defenses, 6-2 looks. They have to be ready for everything, and then they have to be able to put hats on people and let the running backs pick the hole.
And to this point, they've been very successful in that. And, you know, you have to respect it regardless of the look that the defense has given the Comets this year. Coach McQuaid has stuck with the game plan. Just keep giving it to Brandon, give it to some of the other guys. Joe Boylan has become more part of the offense as the season has went on as well. A pitch going left to Brandon across the 20, looking for some room, breaks 1 tackle, flags are down, and he's forced out of bounds. It will be a 1st down if it stands, but we will wait for the penalty.
Thrown by the referee. It's going to be a hold against Solon. I'm not sure exactly what he saw. And they don't and shouldn't call out numbers for high school football. And here's the pitch sweep again. You play the referee at home.
10 yards.
I don't know, do we see a jersey in there being pulled? And then the other thing is, if that particular block does not affect the play, my belief is that referee should eat that flag. If Brandon Shimitz is 15 yards ahead of the play and somebody's getting their jersey pulled in between the tackles, that flag should stay in the pocket.
Nevertheless, he decided to take it out of the pocket, and we have a 1st down and 21 from the 29-yard line. Busey gives on a delay to Shimitz. Shimitz breaks a tackle of the 20 across the 20, and a good run by Brandon.
You hear announcers, coaches, college and pro games talk about running downhill, and the idea being north and south running. And you can see Brandon doing that. He really gets his momentum going forward. He picks up a lot of yards after initial carries, after initial hits.
And Shimitz, 8 carries for 98 yards, and if you've been paying attention, you would know that 98 yards means he has the record. He's the new single-season king. But we've got a touchdown potentially. The throw to Ravita. He's got it. Touchdown, Busey DeRavino. What a play.
Let's watch this catch. Dave sees the ball, and he goes up and gets it at his highest point. He does not let this come down to him. A good throw by Colin. He's got the defensive back beat, but Dave goes up and gets it. Look at that. He's twisting as he catches it, hands the ball to the official. Great catch.
All year the Comets, I apologize, all year the Comets have tried to prove that they have a passing game, and it is showing tonight. Great hookup between the senior teammates. And Wasserman puts it through again, as he has done just about all season. With 53 seconds in the remaining period, Solon answers Nordonia's score, and they lead 14-7.
It shows that you really have to have that ability when teams are putting extra people up there and manning up on the outside. You've got to be able to attack that. Otherwise, Brandon Shimitz gets shut down. You can't let teams put 8 guys up, man up on your outside, and just beat you that way. You've got to show that you can throw the football, you can beat people deep, and the Comets showed that right there. Now that gives the Nordonia defensive coordinator something else to think about. He can't be so anxious to man up because he can give away a cheap score.
And you know, if you start giving ground to that passing game, that's just more and more opportunity for number 28 to run inside and outside against you.
That's going to make the draw is going to come back into play there because you're going to be concerned about getting upfield and getting pressure on the quarterback. I think defensively here, one of the things Solon has to do is get more pressure on the quarterback. I would look for Alexi to come on some blitzes here to get after Pankratz. He has had far too much time. Nordonia's offensive line thus far is impressing me.
Absolutely. If they can get Pankratz to hurry, then that could definitely stifle the passing game. Wasserman kicks one, and they get it away from Maben, which is their goal. Pack is the one who gets it, and a pretty solid return short of the 30-yard line, but the coaches will definitely take it as it's out of Maben's hand, and not the best of field position, at least in high school football.
Nice job by Kyle Wasserman of Sports Illustrated magazine fame of pooching it down there to the side of the hash mark. That's not easy to do, that directional kick, and he's done it 3 times now.
So Wasserman showing he is more than just a great leg. So the Knights will take over for their second drive from the 29-yard line. Pankratz pitches to Maben. Maben going inside, outside. Oh, Maben's got some room. Rostein's going to try to catch him to the 40, to the 30-yard line, to the 20, 10, 5. He's not going to do it. Touchdown, Jordan Maben. And the Shimitz is explosive, but so too is number 27 for the Knights. 14-13.
Well, Maben shows why he's such a good back, because he sees nothing's there outside. He's already looking back for the cutback. I think he knows that Solon has a defense where they are going to be very disciplined and they're going to get to the football, so he's looking cutback right now, and he finds the lane.
And Maben showing that breakaway speed that all the good running backs seem to possess. And Ramos is on to attempt his second extra point of the night and knot it up. Snap's a little low, held nicely, and the kick's a little low, but it's through the uprights. So with 35 seconds remaining in the opening quarter, Solon scores a touchdown, Nordonia scores a touchdown, Solon scores a touchdown, Nordonia answers right back with one of their own. And a lot of offense in this first quarter, not a lot of defense thus far.
Shaping up to be a heck of a football game, and it just makes the adjustments that the coaching staffs have to make at a higher premium. Now you got to think about how are you going to attack that unbalanced set? How are you going to keep Maben from cutting back? What are you going to do to stop Shimitz and to limit him? How many chances are you going to take up front? The schemes and the play calling on both sides of the football is at a premium right now, and the chess game is going to continue here. With just 35 seconds left here in the first quarter, we've seen a lot of good football thus far. I'm surprised. I don't think that Nordonia, if they were to rate their teams in recent years, I don't think this would be one of their, they would consider this to be one of their better ones. Although, yes, they are 9-0 and they are ranked real high. I don't think they expected to be in this position because they are younger than they've been.
But the youth has been able to serve its purpose at this point. You got a guy like Maben coming out of nowhere and being outstanding. Ramos's kick is caught by Tegay. Good job catching it by Tegay. And he's going to fight his way close to the 40-yard line. Should be a little bit short. But a good job by Tegay, rather than letting it bounce, to pick it up and just keep running straight, and a good return.
So let's watch here as Nordonia comes out defensively to see how they attack Solon's offense.
Tackle by Ramos. First and 10.
And Ramos, the kicker, was the guy who was able to put Tegay down there. So third drive for Busey and Shimitz and company. Shimitz a touchdown run on the day, and Dave Ravita, a beautiful touchdown catch, pacing the Comets on offense. And the give goes to Brandon Shimitz, breaking some tackles, continue to running out to the 40. He's still going, and then cross the 35 to the 33. Oh, Brandon Shimitz, what a player.
This got people out of their seats. He is a gamer. They run a 6-2 front. Comets get people blocked, but look at him just explode through the hole. He's looking to break this. And I think the attitude that he's got is that whatever you can do, I can do better.
And number 1, Nick Rahl, a senior defensive back, was holding on for dear life. And that play will do it for what has been a very entertaining first quarter. Your score after 1, the Comets 14, the Knights 14, and we'll be right back. We're back for action in the second quarter. The Comets have it first down and 10 from the Knight 34. We've switched sides. Busey on a play action fake. Throwing and short hops his receiver, David Schneider. He was pressured there, and it'll be second down and 10.
Nordonia's defense looks pretty solid. They've got pressure there on Busey, and they're pretty physical, though they're not large. They're not a big defense. They look pretty tough up front.
And the Comets have it second down and 10. On the game rushing statistics, Shimitz 9 carries, 122 yards. As we mentioned, he broke Matt McGill's record set in 1999. He is the single season rushing king in Solon. And he's still going strong. The king gets it. Shimitz running, and it was Maben, his running back counterpart, that put him down.
Well, they brought Maben on a blitz. They've got number 11, Pack, who's just sitting as a safety, and he is lining up exactly across the line of scrimmage, about maybe 8 yards from the football, and he is just mirroring where Brandon Shimitz goes. So they're paying extra special attention to Brandon Shimitz, and this is the situation that Nordonia defensively wants. They want third and long. They want to put Solon into passing situations.
And they will have it here. 3 receiver set. Dominic Massara, a sophomore, is in the game. Busey back to pass. Throwing for Valentino. And what a catch by Steve Valentino, leaping. And an outstanding play by the athletic Steve. First down, Comets.
Again, we see the great hands of Steve Valentino on an out and up. This is not an easy catch because this ball's kind of leaving him out to dry. He knows he's got to leave his feet, and he's got a defender right on him, and he's going to get hit hard. And he could land on his head, but he catches the ball anyway.
DJ McDonald did the best he could to cause an incompletion, but his hit was unable to stop Valentino. First down and 10. It's going to be a draw play to Tegay, and not much there as he was trying to battle his way.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside again, Brian, like he did the last time, except he may have been better off just sticking with the trap and staying inside. And Nordonia really doing a nice job of mixing up their fronts. Sometimes they're showing 3 DBs, other times they're walking the strong safety up. They are mixing up their looks defensively, giving Solon's offensive line something to think about, putting bodies in different positions, and that's going to affect how Brandon runs the football, definitely.
And we'll see also how that opens up the passing game. At this point, we've seen that balance. Shimitz gets the ball. Had a big hole inside, tried to bounce it outside, but a good tackle on the play by Gary Pack, 5'8", 160-pound junior, a name we've been mentioning a lot tonight.
Well, again, they're just keeping the offensive unit of the Comets guessing with their different fronts, and they're executing them extremely well. And so Solon again finds himself in a third and long situation here.
It's third down and 7. The ball spotted at the Knight 11-yard line. 9 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the first half. 3 receiver set. It's Massara, Valentino, and Revita in the game. Busey rolling to his left. Throwing for Revita, incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down, and Kyle Wasserman will be on to attempt the field goal. It's going to be a 28-yard attempt for Wasserman. Chuck Kyle for the season is 6 of 9. His long field goal, 34 yards. And is 1 of 1 on the year from 1 to 20, and 3 of 4, 21 to 29. And that's what he's looking at, a 28-yarder. Revita will snap it to Valentino, will hold it. Snap good, kick is up, and put 3 points on the board for Solon. Wasserman kicking the field goal with 9 minutes. Excuse me, it was no good.
Missed that to the right, just barely.
Got fooled by the vantage point, and it'll be a turnover on downs after the miss, and Nordonia will take over from the 20-yard line. So essentially, you kind of look at it as a punt that was a touchback. So now the Comets defense has to step up here and make some stops. Pankratz and the Knights, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. And Maben gets the ball going to his right this time. Good speed by Maben and a solid gain across the 25.
They're just getting too much yardage on the corner here. The Comets are going to have to do something to stop the crackback block out there. That seems to be limiting their cornerback and allowing Maben the edge. 6 yards is too much on 1st down.
And we'll have it 2nd down and 3 from the 27-yard line. Pankratz and the Knights trying to stay perfect. They come in 9-0. And it's not Maben this time. It's going to be Pack, and a pretty good run by him. 1st down Knights. So Nordonia showing they have more than just Maben when it comes to running the football.
Well, the power football here, they run to their strength. They run to their tight end. And Comets not doing a good job of wrapping up there. They are over pursuing. They look a little bit tentative defensively here. As you might imagine, Maben's long run has taken some of the wind out of their sails and hurt a little bit of their confidence.
And they're going to need a play to get the momentum back. Big stick would be very nice right now. Pankratz back to pass, throwing. He's got Douglas and actually dropped it. Good job by Valentino delivering the hit. And the 2nd drop on the day by Mark Douglas, the senior receiver.
Anudian Ghana coming off the edge here. Defensive end is getting pressure, makes Pankratz release it a little bit early. He could get his hands up there and try to block that ball.
So 2nd down and 10 from the Knight 36-yard line. 8 minutes, 13 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Here at Stewart Field, the conclusion of the regular season. Pitch going to Maben. The Comets trying to pursue. A couple of guys falling down. Tagay misses a tackle, and he's going to be out of bounds. Did not get tremendous amount there, but good fighting on the part of Maben.
Well, Comets got to do a better job of tackling fundamentals. They've got 2 guys here looking at Jordan Maben. They allow him to juke his way out of it. You've got to break down to tackle this guy.
Gain of 5 on the play. 3rd and 5 from the 40-yard line. The fans getting into it. They want the defense to get a stop. 2 receivers right at I formation. Pankratz back to pass. Throwing. He's got his man. It looks like it was going to be short. We'll see where the spot is. The catch by number 3, John Myers.
Well, Comets are in a 5 defensive back look here. Just 3 down linemen, and they're dropping everybody else off. So Pankratz has all kinds of time with that 3-man rush. And he's got a pretty strong arm. He just throws the ball low here, and now Nordonia, looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down.
This should get the fans excited as Keith Bodeker, Nordonia coach, rolls the dice, wants to go for it on 4th down and 1 from the 45. A defensive chant coming on here in Solon. The give to Maben. He's got a 1st down and more, busting it to the outside. Valentino will try to get him. And Valentino will, but the damage is done. First down, Knights. Maben continues to run well against the defense.
There are no secrets to what Nordonia is doing when they put an I formation on this 3-receiver set with the tight end on this side. They're going to run a straight north-south running play. And Maben's got real good vision and big play ability.
Awful lot of hype going into this game about both running backs. They've both been very successful. But the Comets realize, if they hadn't already, that Jordan Maben is a threat. And he is one good-looking back. Pack gets it this time, and he knows how to run a little bit too. First down again.
Well, this is real disconcerting because look at the size of this hole. Angana is just taken way out of the play. He should not be down at the center. He's the defensive end on this side.
And the Comets call a timeout, their first of the half. 6 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the half. And the Comets need an adjustment right now. Coach Ed Bubonics trying to devise a plan. So tackling, lack of execution, that's the biggest problem you feel right now for the Comets?
Well, it just looks like they're not staying at home. Defensively, the front four, they've got to keep people off the linebackers, and then the linebackers have to make the tackles, and that's been the formula all season long. But when your defensive line is getting moved around as much as they are, then big holes are created, and that's what's happening here tonight. You got to give Nordonia credit, and Solon has really got to play better fundamental football. Break down around the ball carrier, carry out their assignments, not try to make the big play.
And Maben on the night has carried 10 times, good for 138 yards. First down and 10 from the 15-yard line for Nordonia.
And if it's not broke, don't fix it. Here's an unbalanced set with the fullback on this side of the field.
Pitch going to Maben. Ngana's got to play, but he's able to break the tackle, but the Comets still pursuing a loss of yardage on the play. Good job by Solon there.
Okay, so they just run the pitch sweep here to the unbalanced side. Ngana does a good job of getting upfield, not over pursuing. Okay, at least he's there, ready to make the tackle. He hasn't been out of position, so they've got to play disciplined football. Everybody's got to be where they're supposed to be. One guy breaks down, it's going to create a hole.
So the defensive penetration good for a loss of 2. Second down and 12 from the Comets' 17-yard line.
And I think this is a situation, Brian, where Nordonia is trying to do something a little different, a little out of their ordinary routine. I'm sure they don't run this much unbalanced set, and so they call a different play with a different formation, and they wind up having to burn a timeout, which is not a bad timeout considering their field position. Just 6:12 left here in the second quarter, and the score knotted up at 14. They've got a 2nd and 12 situation, so it's a good timeout to gather themselves and make sure that they've got everybody in the right formation.
Very important, as you said, not to sacrifice a play, especially with this much time. And clearly as a coach, you can be I don't really know how to phrase it, but a little bit less careful, I guess you could say, with timeouts in this position. You can afford to call these timeouts in the first half, whereas you might need to hold on to your timeouts later in the second half.
One of the things we're seeing here tonight is the effect. Now we're getting a little taste of our own medicine of what it's like to try to stop a Brandon Shimitz. If people are not in all of their positions, if all 11 men aren't carrying out their duty, note the cutback that Maben made, then you can give up a big play in a heartbeat.
And Nordonia is going to show a shotgun formation for the first time. Pankratz has all sorts of receivers. He's got 4. Pankratz, plenty of time, throwing right. The pass is complete. It's not going to be a first down. It's going to be about 5.
Pass complete to Maben.
It was the tailback Maben on the completion.
Comets only rush 2 guys here. It looks like 3, but they're dropping everybody off. And Pankratz, with all that time, he's a really accurate passer. Does a nice job of finding Maben on the out route.
It'll be 3rd down and 5 from the 10-yard line. 6 minutes, 5 seconds in this first half of play. Important possession here. Give going to Maben. across the 10, fighting, and he's going to be short of a first down, so the Comets are able to stop Maben. And it looks like Mr. Ramos, Corey Ramos, 5'10", 160-pound senior, will be on for the kick.
Fourth down.
Ball spotted at the 7-yard line.
Looks like they're going for it here, Brian.
They're going for it? Okay. Coach McQuaid shouting for a timeout. Refs have not seen him yet. And there you go. They get the timeout.
Barely got that timeout.
Timeout, Solon.
Solon didn't know what defense they were going to be in. I don't think they're expecting Bodeker's Knights to be going for it here on 4th and about 3 at the 7-yard line. It's an interesting call, not going for the field goal. And Comets had some miscommunication there defensively, so this gives both teams an opportunity to take a look at what they want to do here. I think the tendency, once again, for Solon is to try to make a big play and maybe get out of position. They can't worry about tackles for loss. 2 yards, if they give up 2 yards, that's okay. They've just got to stay in their position and not worry about going for the big tackle for a loss.
Do you think going forward here is more a trying to gain momentum in this game, trying to get that 6, get that little punch? Or do you think that it's perhaps a lack of confidence in Ramos, the kicker?
Well, I don't know Ramos for Nordonia. I think it's a testament to what Bodeker feels about the Solon defense and the opportunities that may present themselves here tonight. I think he's going to try to take advantage of every one.
And on 4th down and 2.
Now they are going to kick it, Brian.
Oh boy. So never mind what I said. Obviously he's got confidence in Ramos. Going to be a 24-yard attempt. Now they call timeout. Perhaps they were trying to draw him offside, so they might just be going for it here.
That's exactly what they were doing, Brian. They try to shift play. Forget who did that against us earlier this year. Maybe Twinsburg, where they all shifted late on the field goal or extra point team. No, Strongsville did that.
Yeah,
first game of the year.
Yep.
They did it on a 2-point conversion. Well, first they were going to go for the extra point, and they shifted, and then Comets jumped off, and then with their additional 1.5 yards, they went for the 2-point conversion. They did come up short, but it was an interesting play, and I think we can see at this point how much film both of these coaches have watched.
Very prepared. The preparation important in a game like this to decide the WRC North title. And they will be going it. The holder is Pancrantz.
Well, if the pattern holds up, Brian, he should miss this one wide to the right.
Let's see it. Corey Ramos, the senior kicker, awaits the snap. Kick is up. And good. So Nordonia has its first lead of the night at the 5:18 mark. The Knights 17, York Comets 14.
You got to give Nordonia a lot of credit here and the way they've come out. They've been very businesslike. They are not getting caught up in the intensity of this football game. They look like a very confident football team. And I can't say the same about Solon. After the first drive they had, I think they were feeling real good about themselves, but Maben's long run has shown that they are susceptible, and that's got to make you second guess yourself a little bit.
And with the great crowd that the Comets have today, they really need to come up and make a play to get the crowd back into it. It can be such an advantage. Here at Stewart Field, you've got fans juiced up, excited. They want to see this team get this North title.
Now they've got to go back to what brought them to the dance, and that is Brandon Schimmett's left, Brandon Schimmett's right, and mix in the pass.
Ramos is going to dribble it. It's going to be pounced down by the Comets. So at that point, they kind of sacrifice a return. They sacrifice perhaps a little bit of field position to ensure that a big play is not able to occur for the Comets.
Oh, we're going to look for more of the same. Nordonia mixing up their defensive looks, sometimes putting 8 up there. I would imagine they're probably going to do that more on first down. Then they're going to drop 4 defensive backs here with 5:15 remaining in the second quarter, and 1st and 10 for the Comets at the 33.
The Comets will have 3 receivers in the game, along, of course, with Shimitz and Tegay. Shimitz gets it going right, again trying to bounce it outside, and a couple of yards there. Good pursuit on the part of the Knights defense.
Now they do a good job here. Not sure what number it was over here on the left side of the Nordonia defense, but he was unblocked, and a pulling guard was coming out to get him, and he held his ground. He didn't move. That's exactly what he's supposed to do, stay in his lane, and Brandon didn't have a lot of room to run.
It was number 55, David Rowdybush, a 5'9 junior, that made the tackle. 2nd down, 7 from the 36. Busey on a 3-step drop, throwing. He's got his target for a 1st down. It was number 7, Steve Valentino, the junior, his 2nd catch of the day.
Well, I can tell you, I don't like the spot that he gets. I think his forward momentum. Oh, okay, now they've moved it closer to the 40. Looked like they were going to mark it back at the right where he catches the ball. That's where the ball's got to be. But that official coming in from the side looked like he was going to mark it a yard back. But when they had 8 up in the box, and that's what the Comets have to do. They got to throw that hitch route.
So it'll be 3rd down and 4 from the 40 as we have dipped under the 4-minute mark. Comets with the long snap count. They give to Tegay. He'll power his way for a 1st down. Solon.
Looked like Colin might have been checking at the line. Nordonia's given him so many looks. I think they've got Maben at the top of your screen, and he's going to come on a blitz. But when you run the trap, doesn't matter if you're bringing that corner on the outside.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 45-yard line. Comets with 2 receivers outright. Valentino in the slot along with Ravita. The give going to Shimitz. Shimitz across the 50 and fights his way a little bit short, but near a Comet 1st down as they're into Comet territory.
This is Solon football here. 4-3 look is what they get. They get a nice hole. They get their fullback out on the linebacker. They've got movement on white shirts. That's really what they want to do. They want to get matched up front, and they want to get a good push for Brandon Shimitz.
Gain of 8 on the play. Ball spotted at the Knight 47-yard line. We're under 3 minutes to play as the Comets chugging along here on this drive, trying to tie it up or take the lead. Play action fake for Busey. He's throwing deep down the field for Valentino. It's dropped. Oh, boy. He had Valentino. That looked like 6, Chuck, but they're unable to get it done.
Unbelievable. This got to be the first ball I've seen Steve drop all year. Good job by the offensive line. The play action, they had it set up perfect. Steve is open. Colin throws a strike, and that's the one that got away. But I'll tell you what, he's made so many great catches all year.
He really has been a big play guy. 3 catches in the season, 2 of them for touchdowns, and 8 interceptions.
It's the picks that are so amazing that he makes. Looking back to the Strongsville game, he made that one-handed diving catch.
Wow. Still one of the better plays I've seen at this level or any level. Big time 3rd down and 2. Pitch going to Shimitz. He's got some room. Fighting. And I believe he's got a 1st down.
Well, he knows where the sticks are. Some backs would be looking to cut back here and try to make a big play and might just put their offense in a 4th down situation that they don't want to be in. But Brandon knows where the chains are, where he's got to get to, and he just picks up his 3 yards and goes about his business.
And you see Brandon do just that, try to cut it back inside a lot. But as you said, he has that vision, able to recognize it was more important to get the 1st down rather than a potential big play. The give to Brandon again. Good hard running by Shimitz across the 40. Out to about the 36, 37-yard line, somewhere in there.
2:15 counting here in the second quarter. You know, the Comets are getting some holes up front, but to Nordonia's credit, they're making us earn it, and that's what they want defensively. They don't want you to get the big play. They want to make you earn it, get a chance at a turnover.
It's 2nd down and 4. Comets taking their time at the line. Massara back into the game at receiver. Busey back to pass with time, throwing, and that ball was almost intercepted.
Ducey's pass intended for Massara.
Massara's on a slant route here. He's getting checked kind of late. Had his hands on the football, but a nice play by number 6. Is that Pankratz?
It was Pankratz.
And Nordonia really believes in letting their players play.
Absolutely. I saw the number, was a bit surprised. So a big 3rd down and 4 from the 38-yard line. 3 receivers again. Shimitz gets the carry. Shimitz back inside, fighting his way around the 30-yard line. Move the chains. 1st down, Solon. 1 minute, 40 seconds remaining.
This is tremendous patience on Brandon's part when the initial hole is not there, to not run up his offensive blockers back, but rather cut off of them and wait for the hole to come open, because in a situation like that, it's easy to just put yourself in a bad spot.
Ball spotted, 1st and 10 at the 30. Busey back to pass. Throwing. And incomplete.
I don't know.
Ravita.
I think this defender's limiting the offensive player a little bit. He doesn't have his eyes on the football. Yes, he's allowed to run with the offensive player, and he is, but he has not turned around. And does he let Brandon come back? Oh, yeah, he did turn around. Okay, I stand corrected. As long as he's looking at the football, he can run his space and fight for it. But if he's face guarding, if he's not looking at the ball, that could be called pass interference.
Nick Rahal was on coverage there. 2nd and 10 from the 30 again. Draw play to Shimitz. And a good job by Nordonia stopping him from getting too much across the 30. And maybe 3-4 on the play at most.
Tackled by Holmes and back. Also on the stop, Cooper. Timeout, Solon.
Solon calls a timeout with 1 minute 5 seconds remaining.
That's their second charge timeout.
As you heard, 2nd charge timeout for Solon. They will have 1 more left in this 1st half.
I got to believe they're in 4-down territory here, despite the excellent leg of Kyle Wasserman here at the Nordonia 27-yard line. I think they're probably looking at 2 plays for this 1st down, as opposed to trying to pick it all up here on 3rd.
With 1 timeout remaining, can you afford to run the ball, or at this point are you strictly looking pass?
Well, I think counter boot. Now they changed it. Yeah, Solon had to burn a couple defensively, so they're down to just to no timeouts. And you can spike the ball, so that's not a big concern. I think counter boot is a good play here, because you make it look like you're handing the ball to Brandon and you get Alexi in the flat with the football.
So we have it, 3rd down and 7. 3 receivers, Valentino, Ravita, Massara. Valentino came from left to right. Play action fake. Busey throwing. He's got Valentino. 1st down, Comets, down around the 15-yard line.
What a nice throw.
The chains of the 58.
Nice throw by Colin. The clock stops to move the chains. And Steve got his hands on the football this time. It was not getting away.
So they have it, 1st down and 10 from the 15. It is spiked with 53 seconds remaining.
Ducey spikes the ball, 2nd down.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Got to call 2 plays here. I think you can still run the football and run another play, because then you're thinking about going for the field goal after that. They can get a 1st down inside the 6-yard line here, so they've got 2 plays to do that before their call on Kyle Wasserman. 6 points would look real good going into halftime.
And the advantage, the Comets have been so balanced offensively that it's very difficult for Nordonia to key on one aspect of their game. 3 receiver set, Schneider, Ravita, and Valentino. The give going to Shimitz. Shimitz fighting to the outside. Some good blocking, trying to get out of bounds. He will get out of bounds, I believe, inside the 10 with 45 seconds remaining.
They put their tight end to the wide side. They put 2 receivers out here, and they just run the pitch sweep to Brandon. Really gives the defense a lot to think about, because you can't help but spread yourself. There's a wide out on the top of your screen, too. and then you pitch the ball back to Brandon, you've got to be concerned about him back there. They can run him on a trap. They can run him north and south. But pitching him the ball, getting him out in space, and look at his leg strength to be able to get out of bounds.
Comets have 10 yards to go for a touchdown and 4 yards to go for a first down. They need to get to the 6. Fans getting into it. 3 receivers yet again. Busey's back to pass. Now flushed out of the pocket, rolling left. Now he's going to try to run, throws it, and incomplete. Thought Busey might have been past the line of scrimmage, wasn't. And the clock will stop with 36 seconds.
Straight drop. They're trying to get Valentino in on a slant over the middle. They're running a hitch on the top side of your screen. I don't know, Colin couldn't run this one. He had pressure. He tried to dump it in there, almost picked off.
The field goal, number 11, Wasserman.
And Wasserman will attempt a field goal. This one will be 27 yards. The kick is up and through the upright. So Wasserman is able to redeem himself. And with 31 seconds remaining in the first half, we have a battle on our hands at Stewart Field. Your Comets 17, the Knights 17.
Not the way Kyle would draw it up. He knuckled this one through. This ball, that kick was not going end over end, but rather was a knuckleball. He booted it a little too high on the football and got a knuckle out of it, but got it through.
But most important, the 3 points, as you said. It has been one crazy first half here, Chuck. We have seen an awful lot of offense, and it should be very interesting to see the adjustments that they make at halftime. It should be a very spirited locker room discussion.
Well, I think Nordonia is playing with a lot of confidence, and the way they've come over here tonight, and with Jordan Maben on their side, it really adds to that confidence. So you got a big player like this, and a guy with the accuracy and the arm strength of Pankratz, and Douglas being able to catch the football. You've got an arsenal, and you've got a chance of winning every night. And obviously, when you're 9-0, but that can do nothing but give the surrounding players confidence and momentum, and make them feel like they have a chance of winning. And I think they've established that here in the first half, that they've got a chance of going home with a W here tonight.
Keith Bodeker truly has his troops ready for battle.
Well, we're going to see the pooch kick again. Maben is deep in the middle of the field. He's got Pack on one side, and he's got Nick Rahal on the other. And Kyle Wasserman's task is keep it away from Maben. So we might see the high pooch that we've seen. Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to angle this to number 11.
All week they've been practicing to get it away from number 27. Do not let him beat you on the kickoff return. This ball is pooched. It's going to be fielded at about the 25. And a pretty good run on the play by number 3, John Myers, a junior receiver.
The Comets forgot to cover that one.
Myers returning the kickoff.
That leaves 27 seconds remaining in the first half. First down 10 from the 38. Bodeker just kneel it here, you think, Chuck?
If you hand the ball to Maben, you're not hurting anything, and you're giving yourself a chance to score a touchdown. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them run some offense here.
They will have the I formation. Douglas and Myers are the receivers. And they will just kneel it home. So as the time ticks off, that is going to do it for your first half of play. It's been a wild one, a battle, a lot of offense, not a lot of defense. We'll see how the coaching staff can make adjustments. That'll do it. At the end of one half, your Solon Comets 17, the Nordonia 19. It's been one heck game, Chuck, and we are going to get rolling with Corey Ramos kicking off for Nordonia. And let's see what the Comets can do with the opening kickoff. Jared Butts drops it, picks it up at the 10-yard line. He's got some pursuit coming, trying to get to the outside. He's got some room across to the 30-yard line. Butts the tailback. A good job showing his moves there, and it's a pretty solid return out to the 35-yard line.
There's an example of why Nordonia likes to use their most talented players and put them on the field as much as possible, despite the effect of fatigue. Guess who makes this tackle? Jordan Maben on the kickoff coverage unit, is there to collar Jared Butts and knock him out of bounds.
And we are ready. So the Comets have their first second half drive. Colin Busey, an excellent job in the first half. 5 of 11, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Hit Tagay and Revita. And Shimitz is going to get the ball to the 40, breaking tackles, juking. And it's going to be a first down, so a good run. The 19th carry of the game for Brandon Shimitz.
Again, Brandon, straight ahead running play. They call this a wham. He sees the whole inside. His offensive line's getting a good push. Now, the first half told us that both of these defenses are going to be hard-pressed to stop these offensives. There's been one punt in this football game, and that was by Nordonia. So whoever can step it up defensively first has the chance of winning this one.
The Comets just want to keep on running the football and keep continuing with the balance they possessed in the first half. It's Joe Boylan who has been in at fullback running, and good power running for Joe into Knight territory.
Just what Solon's saying at halftime is, we have to establish the run. We have to show we are the more physical football team. Forget about how many guys they're putting up in the box. We've got to run right at them. We've got to run around them. We have to establish the ground game, try to take some of the wind out of their sails.
And Boylan proving there's a lot of power in his 5'10", 170-pound frame. Gain of 7 on the play, second down and 3 from the Knight 47-yard line. High formation. Busey gives to Shimitz going along the left side. Maben was chasing, is not going to be able to get him. He's got a first down and will be knocked out of bounds across the 40-yard line. So let's move the chains again, Chuck.
Short side running play, tight end and wide out are on this side, and then they just run straight ahead at him on the weak side. And there's not much happening inside, and this is the value of a Brandon Shimitz. He just bounces it and picks up 6 yards at the drop of a hat. So this is what Solon wants to do. Hang on to the football, run the clock, keep it out of Maben and Pankrat's hands.
And they will have it at the 39-yard line, first and 10. 10 minutes, 53 seconds in the third quarter. Busey on a play-action fake, looking downfield, throwing for Boylan, and it was incomplete. Coverage on the play by Gary Pack.
Now Colin underthrows this counter boot. He's looking to the tight end right now to the 2 receiver side. Pack is just sitting out here in the flat. He has one step, but Colin just throws it a little low, and Joe can't get his hands underneath it as he has to stop for it.
So the incompletion makes it second down and 10, again spotted at the Knight 39-yard line. Glad you could join us in the game that will decide who will be the WRC North champion for the very last time, as the conference will, the North and South breaks up next year, 8 teams, 1 conference. Shimitz gets the ball, trying to run inside, bounce it out, but the pursuit was too good, and a no gain on the play by Shimitz.
Well, they had good penetration up front. Linebacker for Nordonia, number 23, Billy Smith, 5'11", 185-pound sophomore, stepped up. He read the play very nicely and met Joe Boylan in the backfield, and Brandon had no running room when his blocking back was 2 yards deep in his own backfield.
So the Knights have what they want, a third down and 11 for Solon. And the Comets show 3 receivers. Busey is back to pass, throwing downfield and knocked away. A good play on the part of number 8. That is Pete Hansberger, knocking it away, the senior.
Well, Revita sits down in a hitch. They take the inside receiver, run him on a flag route. Colin does throw a nice ball, but number 8 for Nordonia, Hansberger, does a nice job of coming back, knocking it down. So Solon's going to punt it away.
First punt for Wasserman on the day. And he gets it off nicely. The ball is going to bounce and going to roll into the end zone, so it'll be a touchback for Wasserman.
Touchback.
That is the 4th touchback of the season by Wasserman punting, and Nordonia will take over first down and 10 from their 20-yard line. 9 minutes, 54 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Comets only picked up 20 yards of field position that time with the touchback and the ball rolling into the end zone. So let's see what Solon is going to do defensively to adjust to the unbalanced set, which Nordonia comes right out in.
Pankratz leads his team to the field. And Jordan Maben runs, and not much there.
Tackled by Novak.
Jono Novak on the tackle, number 51, the senior.
Well, number 56, Dolph Hathaway, had excellent penetration on this one and disrupted Maben as he tried to hit the hole, and that was the difference. They made Maben get dance a little bit side to side instead of allowing him to get north and south, and he was cleaned up by some other Comet defenders.
It's important that we mention the tackle by Jono Novak, second on the team coming into today in tackles, 75 total tackles, and very important for these talented Comet linebackers who've had such a fantastic year as a collective unit to step up and make hits. Second down and 8 from the 22-yard line. Three receivers, a trips formation outright for Nordonia. Maben is the lone back. Pankratz, the senior, under center. Back to pass on a three-step drop. Throwing, it's intercepted by Valentino, and he's going to take it in for 6. Touchdown, Comets, the 9th pick of the year. It is 23-17, Solon. What a play.
Oh, it's great to see him redeem himself after that post pattern that he let get away. He reads this one perfectly. Comets adjusted to the three-receiver set. Pankratz has time again to throw, but watch Valentino just read this beautifully. They've been running this hitch all night. Not tonight, not in the second half. Valentino steps up, makes the big play, puts the Comets up.
So the first turnover of the game on either side, and it is a big one. Kick is up, and it is good. So Wasserman is perfect on the night for extra points. With 9 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the third, the crowd back into it. The Comets up 24-17.
Huge play, huge. That Nordonia has run that hitch pattern all night to the three-receiver side, and they've gotten away with it. And this time the Comets sent an extra, well, they walked their linebacker out, they walked Tagay out, and this time Pankratz couldn't hit the hitch route. Steve read it beautifully.
And Valentino, with that interception, his 9th of the season, means he has moved into second place all-time single season.
There are his stats. Passes defensed 11, and if you read the Cleveland Plain Dealer and check the stats out every week, you see Steve Valentino's name as the leading interceptor in the Northeast Ohio area, and for a very good reason, and he just showed why on that play. A lot of playmakers on Solon, and Steve is one of them.
It has been quite an historic night thus far for Solon. Schmitz moving into first place all-time in yards per game rushing, passing Matt McGill, who ran for 2,032 yards in 1999. And Wasserman, good directional kick again. It's going to be fielded by Myers, and he is dropped just around the 30-yard line.
Well, this special teams philosophy is working real well. The pooch kick, keeping the ball out of Maben's hands. It's got to be frustrating for him, for the Nordonia coaching staff. The way Wasserman is doing it is he's just stepping twice. He's 2 steps and he's pooching it up. So Maben has no chance to get underneath the football.
So let's see if Ed Bubonic's his defensive crew can ride the momentum of the last game. The pitch going outside to Maben, and he picks up right where he left off and breaks some tackles, and he's got a chance to go to the 30, to the 20, 10, 5. He is gone. Jordan Maben breaks another one, and just like that, the momentum shifts again. 24-23 Comets.
What the Comets can least afford is the big play. They're getting cracked inside. Linebackers are getting caught in. And you just can't give Maben a crease.
But yet again, some missed tackles. It was a problem in the first half, and it needs to be cleaned up. Ramos will look to tie it up yet again. Snap is perfect. Kick is up. And the kick is through the uprights. So it's 24-24 with 8 minutes, 58 seconds remaining. And Chuck, we have seen Solon step up, score touchdowns, but Nordonia has been able to answer back every time. And they are really playing step for step with Solon right now. They believe they can win this game.
Two evenly matched football teams. Both defenses have got to check themselves here. Nordonia did stop Solon there for the first time and forced a Solon punt. But it looked like a little bit of miscommunication. They had a late entry onto the field, did Solon's defense. I don't know how much that hurt him on the pitch sweep. I would say getting caught by the outside receivers and having a linebacker get caught by a crackback is hurting him more.
And Jordan Maben, going into that carry, had 12 carries for 139 yards and a touchdown. And now has 211 yards and 2 touchdowns, so what a day for him. Ramos is going to let it roll. And the ball picked up by a Comet. Couldn't quite tell who it was.
I think it's Alexi.
It was Alexi Tegay.
Tackle by Hansberger and DeBrous.
We hear sometimes on kickoffs that when the ball rolls like that, it sometimes can mess up the kickoff team as far as their execution.
Well, Alexi's an up back, and he's not really supposed to be handling the ball unless, of course, it's kicked along the ground to him. So he did a nice job of getting the Comets some field position here. So back to establishing the run, I believe.
Comets have it first down and 10 from their own 46. The pitch to Shimitz. He'll fight his way for maybe a yard or two.
And Nordonia's stepping it up defensively. They've got people in the right spot. They cover this pitch sweep to the short side extremely well. They've got white shirts stepping up. And they're pursuing the football, so I'd like to see the Comets get a little bit more north and south and some atom running plays.
Number 4, Dorian Holmes, a junior linebacker, forced Shimitz out of bounds. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 from the Comet 47-yard line. 3 receiver set. The give to Shimitz, and he powers his way for a solid gain. I think he'll be short of a first down, but a good one.
Now this is the north-south. I think they've got to run right at this football team. It's a short side running play. Look at the big hole there. Just a simple, it's not even a cross block. It's just the guard blocks down, the tackle blocks out, and they lead the fullback through. And when you've got a 2 receiver set out wide, that's a tough play to stop on the short side.
A big 3rd and 1 play from the Knight 45-yard line. Busey barking out the signals. Shimitz gets it. Shimitz has himself a first down as he approached the 40-yard line. He'll be short of it.
Again, Brandon's not trying to make too much out of this play. He knows where the sticks are at, and he picks up his first. So the best defense is a good offense, and if the Comets can just hang on to the football, keep grinding out the clock, that's what they want.
They'll have it first down and 10 from the Knight 41-yard line. 7 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Busey back to pass, throwing, and incomplete. Was looking for Revita. Some excellent coverage on the play by number 1 Nick Rahal, 5'8", 145-pound senior.
You've got to do this when the opponents do not have 2 safeties over the top. You've got to show that you're willing to throw the fade. And Revita actually has his hands on the football, but number 1 Rahal is there and equal to the task. So
the Comets went for the big play, were unable to complete it. 2nd down and 10 from the 41. Busey, an inside handoff to Tegay. Good run, but a very nice stick on the play. It was number 4 Dorian Holmes on the tackle, who just had one a moment ago. Check that, Gary Pack on the tackle, number 11, a 5'8", 160-pound junior DB.
Nordonia will hit you. And this is the situation they want. They want 3rd and long. They've got it, 3rd and 5.
Ball spotted at the 37-yard line. As we are under 7 minutes remaining in this third quarter of play. All knotted up, 24-24. Busey back to pass with time, throwing for Revita. He's got him, first down and more. as he breaks it to the outside across the 25-yard line.
Good protection here for Colin. Dave just runs out to the flat and sits down. They run the inside guy on a flag. Colin reads it. Does a nice job of picking the right receiver and throwing a strike. And the sure-handed Dave Revita, their leading receiver on this Comets ball club, makes the catch.
First down and 10 from the 24-yard line. 7th completion of the day for Busey. Give to Shimitz.
Shimitz, the ball carrier.
Number 76 on the tackle. Mike Newman, as well as number 79, Joe Kowalski. Kowalski is the tallest player on Nordonia, 6'3", 260-pound senior defensive lineman.
Just flat out beat his blocker and dragged Brandon down from behind. You got to wonder, with all players that Nordonia has going both ways, and certainly Solon has their share, but Nordonia not as deep as Solon, how long the fatigue factor sets in.
UC hands to Shimitz. Shimitz gets it. Shimitz is going to keep going. And a touchdown, Brandon Shimitz.
We can see this replay again. They bring Mabin down here at the bottom of your screen. So they commit the extra player, and we're running the other way, and that's what Gessen will do. Look, Kowalski's in the backfield again, but that's all Brandon Shimitz. Get his speed out on the corner, and Holmes, the inside, the middle linebacker, cannot bring down Brandon Shimitz as he bounces it out.
And Brandon Shimitz is in the record books for the second time tonight. That touchdown number 30, tying Matt McGill first place all time for single season touchdowns. And the extra point attempt is up. And no good, he missed it. Wide left.
Well, Kyle's had a bit of a tough night here kicking the ball. That's his second knuckler that he's kicked through. This time he wasn't so lucky and he missed it off to the left. So I really think this Solon defensive unit, obviously, they've got to step up, but they are back on their heels right now. They do not look confident.
5 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play here at Stewart Field. As we've mentioned, the winner of this game will be the WRC North champions, and this is the last year of the WRC North. WRC North, WRC South have split. There will be 8 teams next year. From the south, Cuyahoga Falls, Stowe Hudson. From the north, Solon, Twinsburg, Brush, Mayfield.
Number 11 back, kicking off for Solon, number 11, Wasserman.
Wasserman on to kick off. Pack, Mabin are both back. So Kyle is ready, and this time he's going to kick it far, but Mabin's going to get it for the first time. See what he can do with it. Oh boy, he breaks some tackles. Across the 40, he's got some room. And ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Mabin is going to take this all the way to the house. They wanted to avoid it, to get it away from him. They could not. And we are all knotted at 30 with 5:35 left. A big play hurts Solon yet again tonight.
Well, Mabin and Pack show that they're going to switch on this, and then at the last minute, after Kyle had checked, they switched back. And not very good coverage by the Comets. The line drive kick certainly hurt them.
And they do it again. Nordonia just will not stop fighting. They have answered every single thing that the Comets have given them tonight. The kick is up and good. And the Nordonia fans on the visiting sideline, visiting stands, it is packed here, and they are excited because they have the lead, 31 to 35 minutes, 35 seconds in the third quarter.
Nordonia player down. Can't see the number.
It's number 62, the injured Knight. That is Steve Segelka, 5'10", 235-pound offensive lineman, defensive lineman. He is a junior.
He is moving. They're looking at his leg.
He has 14 carries tonight for 211 yards.
For Solon, number 28, Schmitz, number 43, Bucks. Kicking off.
The two of the tailbacks for the Comets, Schmitz and Butts, are back. Corey Ramos, the senior, on to attempt the kickoff.
Now they're going to squib it again, try to keep the ball out of Brandon's hands. I think the Comets have to make an adjustment on their kick team.
Schmitz fumbled but picked it back up. He's looking for room on the outside. Now with a burst of speed, suddenly Schmitz breaks a tackle across the 40-yard line, and a great return to the 45. So wait 1 minute, Nordonia. Brandon Schmitz is a playmaker too.
He wants this football. He goes over and cuts Jarrett off. He outranks him. He's a junior. Jarrett's just a sophomore. Look at that. When he sees a crack, he's got another gear. So I think the Comets are going to get back to their balanced offense here. He's going to start out with a 3-receiver set, try to spread them out, and then I think run the football.
Comets have it from their own 45-yard line. Excellent field position. And let's see what the offense can do with it. They've been very successful tonight. Tagay gets the ball, fighting his way to try to get to midfield, and he will be just short.
By Roddy Bush and Kowalski.
5:08 remaining here, third quarter. 31-30. Nordonia leads this. Just a missed extra point. The difference between these two football teams here tonight. They're putting on a heck of a show.
Gain of 4 on the run by Tagay. Ball spotted at the 49. The give going back to Schmitz this time. Schmitz has a first down. He has more, and he is going to take it to the barn. Touchdown, Brandon Schmitz, his second of the day, 31st of the season, and he is now the record holder for touchdowns as well.
North-south running play. He just needs a crease. This play was supposed to be cut to the right, but Brandon sees the whole field, cuts it back. Now we have a situation where the Comets are forced to go for 2 to try to regain the 7-point lead. So it's an important play.
Schmitz, 27 carries, 271 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And here we have it. Can the Comets go up a touchdown? Busey backed up pass, looking, throwing. It was intercepted. Was looking for Valentino, so 2-point conversion, point after trying, no good. 4 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in the third quarter to play. Your Comets 36, the Nordonia Knights 31.
Well, they ran a 3-receiver set, and then just in the 3-receiver set, it gives your quarterback just one side of the field to look at, and they hope to confuse the defense by running a couple guys in different directions and hoping somebody's wide open, and to no avail there. So 5-point lead now for the Comets, 36-31. And keep an eye on that scoreboard because it's changing by the minute.
Absolutely. You really do have to watch it. And it's going to be very important defensively for the Comets to step up. Senior leaders, Novak, Hoyland, going to have to try to motivate the team because they really need some momentum defensively right now. Nordonia has been able to do what they've wanted to do offensively.
I think they've got to squib kick this ball. It looks like they're going to go back to what they've done, which is the 2-step pooch kick, the pop-up. Maben fooled them the last time with Pack when it looked like they were going to switch, and then at the last minute they switched back. Maben got his hands on the football, so just keep the ball out of 27's hands.
Wasserman does just that. It is Pack, catches just short of the 20-yard line. Missed tackle, and Pack is moving now. And a very good return out across near to the 45-yard line. And both kickoff coverages have had a very, very hard time stopping the returners today.
Now, there are some holes on the kickoff coverage team right now. It looks like people are flying down the field, not staying in their lanes. Look, they should not be that bunched up. Now here's a rare flag. An illegal block in the back or a hold. It's going to be called against Nordonia. It's going to set him back. But unless the Comets can get a handle on Jordan Maben here in a hurry, the scoreboard's going to continue to be lit up.
And a big rarity at any level of football with 4 minutes 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter. That was the first penalty flag call against Nordonia today.
It's been a very clean game.
Solon also has one penalty. They have it from the 30-yard line. Maben gets it and they stuff him. And the fans are very happy about that.
Well, they've been running that play all night. You can't blame them. They run the unbalanced, and then they get the north-south running play to their strength. And the Comets have adjusted and put Alexi right there. Alexi read the play, stepped up, made the big hit for no gain. And that's no small task to stop Jordan Maben.
It's awfully nice to see second down and 10, second down and long in this situation. We are under 4 minutes now in the third quarter. 3 receivers set for Nordonia. Maben the lone back. Back to pass, and he's sacked. Jeff Pankratz was sacked. And it was Dolph Hathaway, the senior, 6', 282-pound senior.
Yeah, he beats his man inside with a swim move. Pankratz was looking deep. He had the hitch man open, but he was trying to make the big play, and big defensive play. That's a big swing, but you got to keep your eyes on number 27 because he could score from any part of this field, and these Comet fans are going to get up, make some noise on 3rd and 16.
All of a sudden, this place is finally rocking on 3rd down and 16 from the 24. Fans want to stop. It's an option pitch to Maben. Boylan unable to tackle him. He's going to keep running, but that is not going to be nearly enough. And the Comets fans wanted to stop, and they get their wish. It's time to punt for Nordonia. 3 and out.
Interesting call. They run a fake to the fullback and then try to run an option. I can't tell who that end is. If that's a nudie at the holding the quarterback's leg. No, it's not a nudie. But whoever that is made the play on the fullback and the quarterback, which is not how you teach it, but we'll take it.
Low snap contested nicely. And the ball's received by Valentino. Couple of nice moves by Steve. And a solid gain. Number 2, Tim Cohn, punted it, 6', 200-pound senior.
There's a flag on the play, probably an illegal block. Usually on the punt, that's what you'll find. So this one's coming back. Flag's down at the 40, so let's see what the call is.
On the return, we got a block in the back on the receiving team. 10 yards, first down.
And just like that, after all the momentum of the 3 and out, Solon is back in somewhat poor field position at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
But nevertheless, an opportunity to add on to the 5-point lead for Solon. They've not had much breathing room tonight. Busey gives to Shimitz. And Shimitz, a very good gain yet again, running inside between the tackles.
Anytime he touches the football, obviously, he's got a chance of breaking it. Blocking scheme's called wham. He's got a hole there. They block down. They bring the guard around. They kick out with the fullback. Guard tries to get through the hole. And Brandon just reads it off that. So solid pickup of 7 on first down.
Hard-fought yardage for Shimitz. So 2nd and 3 from the 37. 2 receivers again. And Shimitz gets it. Shimitz has a first down. And Shimitz has another solid gain. Just move the chains, Chuck. That's the name of the game at this point.
That's the name of the game tonight. It's a battle of offenses. Look at the hole there. A lot of running room. I think maybe this Nordonia defense is getting worn down. They're not used to chasing a back the caliber of Brandon Shimitz. or facing an offensive line like this. You got to give them credit, though. They're a solid football team, but they could very well at this point be worn down. I see some heads hanging a little bit.
You mentioned it earlier. Physically, this team has the ability to dominate. And the give to Joe Boylan. It was the fullback Boylan.
Here's the trap play. He bounces it outside. And Pack does a nice job of bringing down Joe Boylan. That's no easy task either. So 2nd and 5. And again, this is what the Comets want to do. The clock is ticking away with 52 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
2nd down and 5. The Comets are into night territory at the 48. Busey gives to Shimitz. Shimitz has some room going outside. Continues to bounce it past the 1st down marker. Continues to run and out of bounds.
Draw play. And Brandon just does the bouncing. You can see how tough he is to bring down. You can have a tackler right there, but he's got that extra gear right here where he just bounces it, makes this guy miss. It's hard to get a good hit on Brandon.
25 seconds and counting. And this could very well be the last play. 30 carries for, get this, 303 yards for Shimitz. Oh boy. The give going inside. It was Tegay, not much there. And that will do it for the 3rd quarter of play. After 3, your Solon Comets 36, the Nordonia Knights 31. We'll be back for the 4th quarter after this. We're back for 4th quarter action. I'm Brian Rosen alongside my broadcast partner Chuck Chokina. It's 36-31 Comets. And the give going to Shimitz on 2nd down and 10. And a pretty good gain for Brandon, 5-6 yards on the play.
It's a trap play out of the single back set. And he dances around a little bit, makes some people miss. Dorian Holmes is there. It's a really solid middle linebacker that Nordonia has, number 4. And he is just a junior.
So a big 3rd down. It's 3rd and 4. Big play in this, the final quarter of play. Give to Shimitz. Oh, great move by Brandon Shimitz en route to a 1st down. Solon.
Well, how can you defense this? Nordonia has the backer there to make the tackle. He's right there staring Brandon down, and he comes up with nothing but air. And look at the push. Look at the push downfield that you see blue shirts 7 yards down the field getting a push on the Nordonia defense. And I see their heads hanging a little bit. All this pounding that they've taken is showing its wear. They're hanging heads a little bit on the Nordonia defensive side of the ball.
And their fatigue forces Nordonia to call a timeout. And it's just amazing when you watch Brandon Shimitz run. And any defensive player, I mean, what can you do when you've got a guy who can make cuts like that quickly? It's just outstanding.
You just got to stick with your fundamentals. Try to keep your eyes on the midsection of the runner as opposed to looking at his shoulders or looking at his feet, because those he can move, but he can't really move his midsection. Now that's easier said than done, but a back doesn't gain 2,000 yards in a season for no reason. You know, Brandon Shimitz can make people miss. And I really, really want to see, and I'm hoping that the Comet coaching staff continues to run the ball right at Nordonia here. I don't think there's any reason to put it up. Maybe a counter boot or a draw, but I think they've got to just keep pounding the football. They're getting a real good push up front.
Shimitz has carried the ball 33 times. His average on the season is 24. So a lot of carries. We'll see how that affects the rest of the game. The give to Tegay. Oh boy, he was thinking about 6. It was just tripped up. Nevertheless, a very solid game.
Well, Alexi does a nice job in the trap here. After somebody grabs his ankle, this is really good balance. Look at Augie Promisberger, number 77, getting down the field. And Alexi does a good job of getting his hand down, not letting his knee touch, and picking up an extra 4 yards.
The power running, as you said, starting to really wear down Nordonia. 2nd down and 2. Comets give it to Shimitz. Shimitz has himself, I believe, a 1st down. Wasn't pretty, but he did what he had to do. Power running, keep those legs moving. 1st down, Solon.
And the clock is ticking, 10:24. The chains move. They've got 1st and goal now from the 9-yard line. Danny Paddock comes out. I think he's just catching his wind. And Perry Avery has replaced him at left guard.
Comets have it, 1st down and goal from the 8-yard line, clinging to a 36-31 lead. Boy, do they need some points. UC gives to Shimitz. Shimitz is thinking about the end zone, and he's got it yet again. The 3rd touchdown of the game for Brandon Shimitz.
Let's see if they get a real good push up here. Yeah, well, look at the blue shirts. And you give Brandon that much room, and he's going to find it. Great job by the offensive line. Puts the Comets up 42-31. And this extra point will put them up 12 with 9:59 remaining.
Extra point is up. And Wasserman's got this one. Your score with 9 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the game. Your Solon Comets 43, the Nordonia Knights 31.
Well, this is a benchmark for this game, Brian, as it's the first time that either team's been up 2 scores. It's been a 1-score game the whole time, and both teams obviously have proven that they can answer each other back, what with the 43-31 score right now. So, you know, a kick here, and the way we've been covering kicks, Jordan Maven could return this one. You never know. This game, anybody can strike at any time.
The kickoff coverage unit really needs a stop right now.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the squib here. Now, once again, it looks like he's setting up for that pooch kick. Try to aim it at number 11. Not that they're picking on Pack, because he's a heck of a football player, but rather they're just keeping it out of Maven's hands as much as possible. Let's see what Nordonia tries to do to counter that. If they run the switcheroo like they did the last time.
So 9 minutes, 59 seconds remaining in the game. And Kyle Wasserman will look to keep it away from number 27, Maven. Kick is up and going to bounce out of bounds. So, and some cheers for the Solon sidelines. They just don't want Maven taking it in for 6 again.
That's for sure.
So
let's give it to him at the 35.
Sure, why not? So 1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line. 9 minutes, 59 seconds remaining. Comets want to call themselves WRC North champions for the 8th time in 8 years. Their dominance has been well documented, and they just want to finish what they started 8 years ago when they joined the WRC. Shotgun for Pankratz, and he gives the ball to Maven. A couple of yards on the play, but good pursuit by Solon.
That was Pack that time in the backfield. Not sure if Maven was flanked out. No, he's coming in now. So Pack was able to pick up about 4 yards on that draw out of the shotgun. Little different look. Don't expect them to get away from what they've been doing. Now this time they're flanking Maven out.
And Pankratz is in a shotgun again. And they go with the drop play to Pack. And good job by Solon yet again.
Well, anytime Nordonia hands the ball to somebody else, you got to figure they did you a favor. They flanked Maven out, and the Comets sent a corner and a safety over the top, which is the respect that this football player deserves. And I can't believe he's just a sophomore. But Nordonia sees that, and they go ahead and they run their draw play. Now, if you send one guy out to cover Maben, then maybe they throw a slant or a hitch or a fade.
A defensive cheer starting again at Stewart Field. 3rd down and 2 from the 43. A fake to Maben, a give to Peck, and absolutely nothing you can do. Alexi DeGay, the leader in tackles, has another big one for the Comets. 4th down, Knights.
Well, they're going to be questioning themselves about the last 3 play calls that they just made because Jordan Maben did not get his hands on the football. That's a crime. And, you know, Nordonia is doing such a great job. They're a great football program. But even great coaching staffs wind up questioning themselves. They used Maben as a decoy on each of the last 2 plays, and he wasn't even in on the 1st down play.
Ball bounces, and a good job by Tim Cohen just to get it off. It's fielded by Ravita. Ravita across the 45-yard line, and that's where he'll be stopped. So great field position for Solon, and up 43-31 with 7:55 left. And Chuck, an opportunity on this drive for Solon to march down the field yet again.
They need to hang on to the football. I'm sorry, Brian, that hanging on to the football is paramount at this point because really that would be, I think, the only thing that's going to beat them. It would be a turnover because they are proving here late in the game that they can wear down Nordonia.
High formation, 3 receiver sets. Coming in motion from right to left is Ravita. Colin Busey, the senior quarterback, calls out the signals. And a good run by Joe Boylan. They continue to switch out between Boylan and Tagay, and some very good runs for the senior, Joe Boylan.
Now they've still got 8 guys up. They're manned up on our 3 wide receivers, and they still can't stop the trap play. So that's real frustrating for a defense when you put 8 guys up there and you're trying to force the other team to pass, and they're still beating you.
1st down and 10 from the 38-yard line. Colin Busey calls out the signals again. Shimitz gets the ball going to his left. And a good job fighting his way for a couple of yards. But the clock keeps moving. That's the name of the game.
Ironic, Brian, you say a couple of yards, and look at what he picked up because he picks up a lot of quiet yards. He got 7 or 8 on this play and managed to stay in bounds. Well, let's see. He picked up 7. But it looks like it's more like 3 or 4 yards at a time.
It's that quiet yardage that can even fool the most novice of announcers. 2nd down and 3 from the 32. And the give to Boylan, and I don't know, he's going to be close. He's going to be
about
short,
a yard shy. But this is what the Comets want. They want the ball control. Again, it's the trap play. Nordonia does a nice job of shutting it down this time. I think a nice north-south run and play. Straight ahead with your lead blocker. Give the ball to Brandon. Let him pick his hole. It's not rocket science.
3rd down and 1 from the 29. The clock continues to move at 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Give going to Shimitz. 1st down, Solon. Got to about the 25-yard line and maybe beyond that.
Nordonia walked Maben up to the line of scrimmage, and it's something they've shown to try to get a big play out of. His being such a terrific athlete, but he took a hit there from Joe Boylan, and that's something that, I don't know, in future years they're really going to have to look at whether or not they want, because Maben's coming out right now, whether or not they want to have a kid of his caliber taking all those hits on defense.
And as you mentioned on the last drive, when they were unable to do anything on offense, Maben couldn't even touch the ball, perhaps tired from playing both ways all game. Boylan, the fullback, gets it. He powers his way in. Oh, just slipped down. He was smelling the goal line there, but nevertheless a 1st down, and the clock keeps moving.
He almost lost the football. He started to lose the handle, and when he went back to pick it up, when he shifted right there, somebody knocks it out right here. He lost his feet, but he held on to the more important thing, the football. So with 5:20 remaining, the the Comets continue to click away this clock, and they're looking to punch it in and go up 3 scores.
They have it, 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. 2 receivers, but it's Shimitz who matters. Shimitz gets it. Touchdown number 4, what do you think? I think he's got it. Touchdown, Brandon Shimitz, touchdown. Solon, the 33rd of the season for the Comet star tailback.
Now he knows he doesn't have to run inside if he doesn't want to. He can bounce it. He's got hats on people. And Brandon knows where the goal line is. With this extra point, Brian, it'll be 50 for the Comets.
Valentino the holding, Ravita the snapper, and Kyle Wasserman the place kicker. High snap, held nicely, and he puts it through the uprights. 5 minutes remaining, and the Comets have a 50-31 lead over the Knights. And you can just sense it in this crowd. The Comets have demoralized Nordonia. The momentum is totally in their favor. And they got to be feeling good about that 8th potential title tonight.
Well, we talked about halftime adjustments, and we've seen excellent coaching staffs on both sides of the field all year long make those adjustments and come out in the second half with solid plans for their football team. And I believe the talk in the locker room at Solon's side of the field was, we've got to reestablish the run, be physical up front, control the clock, keep the ball out of Maben's hands. Again, it's not rocket science, but then to go out and execute it, you got to give the kids credit with what they did. The pick by Valentino was huge, turning a Nordonia drive into 7 points. The defense has definitely stepped up here in the second half. This Nordonia team in Division II, they're going to make some waves, no doubt. I think they're number 1 in their region for a reason. I don't know if they get this loss here tonight, which it looks like they will, down 19 points with 5 remaining, if they're going to remain the number 1 team in their region.
Wasserman lets the ball hit the ground, momentarily fumbled. It's number 20, Stefan Walker, and he is tackled. Now, Chuck, if you want to illustrate the adjustments and the success the Comets have had, as we'll get back to this after the replay.
Well, this is what the kickoff coverage has to do. Break down and make the tackle. You can't just keep running by the ball carrier. At a certain point, within 3 yards of the ball carrier, that's the time to break down, not continue to sprint. And I think I've seen a lot of that tonight with the kickoff coverage. Now, granted, they were doing something that's different and pooching the ball in the corner, so they're not used to it.
As I was saying before the replay, best illustration, the Comets have outscored Nordonia 26-7 in the second half, and thus hold the 50-31 advantage. Backed up pass, and he got his receiver, Pancratz, hit Mark Douglas, and that's Douglas's first catch of the second half. I believe he had 5 in the first. Joe Geitz on the coverage, on the tackle, 5'9", 165-pound junior. Gain of 5. The clock continues to move. 4 minutes 30 and counting. And from here on out, you'll see a lot of shotgun from Nordonia. Handgritz back to pass, throws a screen to Maben, and he is taken down immediately.
Nice play by Rothstein. He reads this the whole way. They're trying to run receivers off and get the ball to Maben underneath, but you don't sit back and wait to be hit by a blocker. You step up and make the play. And nice job by Dan Rothstein.
Loss of 4 on the play, 3rd and 9 from the Knight 32. Handgritz back to pass. Looking downfield, throwing, and he got him. Completion made, the first catch of the day for number 12, David Polak.
Nice little play here. They spread when they bring Douglas out here in motion, and then they run all 4 on a seam route. And what they're looking to do is find holes deep down the middle of the field. And down the middle is the easiest throw there for Pancratz, but they start out bunched up and then they spread you out with that motion.
Polak is a junior tight end. First and 10 from the Comet 47-yard line, but time not on their side. 3 minutes remaining. Drop play given to Maben. And Pack ended up with the football.
It was the drop play to Pack, but they whistled it dead as his momentum was stopped from going forward, and I think that's when, I think it was Alexi had let go of the ball carrier and looked like Pack was going to break it there, but the play was already blown dead.
So second down and 11. 2 minutes, 35 seconds, and counting. Jeff Pankratz back to pass on a 5-step drop, flushed out of the pocket, throwing, and had to throw on the run, incomplete, intended for his receiver, number 25, Ricky Solera, 6 foot, 170-pound senior.
Number 22, Patrick Stankiewicz in the backfield, putting pressure on the quarterback.
And you just have to give a lot of credit to Solon in this second half. Nordonia did a great job offensively against him in the first half, but in the second half of play, there has not been much offense. Some good momentum going into the playoffs. Pankratz, the senior quarterback, hit with a third down and 11. He is back to pass, throwing deep down the field for Douglas, and he missed him by a lot, thrown out of bounds. That brings up fourth down and long.
And the fans are starting to celebrate because they see that the Comets are going to come away with a win here, a big one.
Tim Cohen on with the punting duties, number 2, a senior. He'll be punting from about the 40. Nobody back there for the Comets. It takes a night bounce. Very good bounce. This ball is going to be downed at the 5-yard line, but at this point it does not mean very much, because with only 2 minutes and 10 seconds, Nordonia is not making up a 19-point margin.
Well, it guarantees, Brian, that next week, Saturday night, Division I playoffs are all played on Saturday nights. We will be here at Stewart Field. I think they stay with a 7:30 start. Not sure, can't quote me on that. But it could very well be as the number 1 seed in the region, depending on what Warren Harding does.
But regardless, a breath of fresh air for this team and for this community. You're getting a home playoff game, folks. Tagay, the fullback, got the ball. 5 yards, and again, quiet yardage for Tagay.
Tackled by Holmes and Cooper.
Holmes and Cooper collectively stopped Tagay. Minute 45 seconds and counting, and the Comets are in no hurry to get to the line of scrimmage. And quite sure got it. It was Shimitz. So they continue to run with Brandon. And a gain of 4 on the play. That was the 39th carry of the day for Brandon. Good for 348 yards. Wow.
That's all you can say.
He's pretty good, you know. Third down and 1. 40th carry of the game, and Shimitz gets a first down for Solon. So with this victory, the Comets will finish up at 9-1 and undefeated, 5-0 in the conference. And for the 8th straight year, they are WRC North champions and will head into the playoffs with some momentum after defeating a very solid Nordonia team that will drop to 9-1, 4-1 in the conference. And they will no doubt be a force to be reckoned with in Division II. And And the Comets kneel it. And that is going to do it. Solon fans, we are going to see you next Saturday night at Stewart Field for a playoff game as your Comets have defeated Nordonia and taken the WRC North title. The final score in this one, the Solon Comets 50, the Nordonia Knights.
Oh, give me your hand, my pretty Polly, my bride forever.